Welcome to the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow, Scotland. We've got an unbelievable night of MMA action ahead for you.
We've got a title fight between Dean Caldwell and the current champion Nico Musaki. We've got a fight between Stephen Ray and Kasim Shafiq. And we've got Alan Johnson up against Jason Ayari, amongst many more. Joanne Calderwood against Irana Mata. Don't go anywhere.
Dean Reilly from the Grip House Gym, Dinky Ninja Fight Team, fighting featherweight. Training's been good, as usual. Apart from training, just been watching a lot of basketball and Wolverine a lot, just to kind of take my mind off it instead of watching so much fights. But training's been good as usual, mental prep's been good, and yeah, it's been fun, it's been sunny, it's been good. I'll hopefully finally manage to get the claw to finally pop out my hand. I've been concentrating on it for a good 4 or 5 weeks now. Still, it's getting closer, so hopefully that will just pop out and head will drop off. Knock out the night bonus from Tam.
My name is Mizdari. I'm 66 kilos, favorite class. I come from France, from the MK region, and I'm an MMA professional fighter since 2 years. Prepare my fight with my teammate Vincent Delguera, who is an experienced MMA fighter, so I train a lot in ground and pound and in elbows. And I do twice training a day. So on the morning, physical training, and more technical training and sparring in the evening. I'm gonna win this fight, that's sure, but I don't know how, because I can just striking, I can wrestling, I can grappling, so we will see tonight.
Next up here on Top 5 at the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow, we've got a lightweight fight between Dean Reilly and Fuad Mizdari. The Hurricane, Dean Reilly, Wolverine, he prefers to be called, from the Grip House, Dinky Ninja Fight Team in Glasgow. He's not fought in Scotland in over 2 years, David, so I mean, he is so excited to be back in his hometown and throwing down. He's from Clydebank, just along the road here in Glasgow. Can't wait to see him in action.
Yeah, he's been fighting all over the globe. He's over in Japan most recently. Also been fighting on Cage Warriors shows, several of those against some really high-level guys like Karsten Lenjoint, Steve O'Keefe. Can't pronounce his Japanese opponent, unfortunately. Not blessed with that sort of talent to pronounce names perfectly well. But he really has been fighting across the globe against very high-level guys.
Reilly is a very technically gifted striker who hits extremely hard. We're talking about Reilly. He's lost 3 fights by submission, so we know where he wants this fight to take place. That's on the feet. He's lost 2 in a row, and he's had something of an awakening lately. He realizes that he needs to fight a certain way to have fun, maybe not to overthink things, not to overcomplicate things when he gets into the cage. He also knows he really can't afford to lose this fight here. He doesn't want to be 5-5, doesn't want to be 3 losses in a row. He's extremely focused this time out. Fuad Mizdari is 8-2, never been knocked out. Shows you what kind of job Dean's got on his hands.
Yeah, I think one of the main things is that he turns up this evening. I think he'll tell you himself that it doesn't always translate how good he is in the gym into how good he is in the cage. So I think that's really one of the key things here. I think he can give anyone trouble really in the UK featherweight division if he's on form, if he shows up and he really puts in the performance that he knows he can, and that everyone who trains with him at the Dinky Ninjas knows he can. But against Mizdari, it's going to be a very tough ask. 8-2, terrific record, and as you say, never been knocked out. I mean, that is quite something. It really is a terrific task that a difficult task that Dean has on his hands here. Mizdari, a very well-rounded guy.
Well, that's right, a lot of fighters say that, I'm well-rounded, but this guy's got 4 wins by submission, 4 by decision, so it may be lacking when it comes to kind of finishing power in his hands, but you know, he can go the distance and he can choke you out. He looks well up for it.
Yeah, as you can see, he's quite a cocky guy, which I'm sure the Scottish crowd are going to love, especially against a sort of favourite like Dean Reilly, well-liked guy around here.
Fighters in the blue corner, weighing in at 65.7 kilos, with a record of 5 wins and 4 losses. Fighting out of the Galbraith gym and taking Ninja Fighting from Scotland, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the red corner, weighing in at 66.2 kilos, with a record of 8 wins and 2 losses. Fighting out of enquiries in France, please once again give a warm Scottish welcome. Le grand bienvenue écossais à Fouad Mizdari.
Well, it wasn't warm, but at least it was a welcome.
He's loving the booze. He's loving it. Put me all you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee Andy Sledge, this bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds of professional MMA action.
This is one of the bouts I've most been looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen Dean Reilly fight in the flesh and fight in television, but on the flesh, it's just something different. I can't wait to see how he approaches this fight. We're quite sure we know what he's going to try and do, but you just never know in a fight. And Mizdari clearly very, very confident, very cocky.
Stinging leg kick from
And this
Reilly.
is what we're saying about him. He hits so hard.
Wow, nice. Whoa!
Oh, David,
Whoa!
finished it. He looks like he could have finished it. Mizdari by TKO in a very quick time.
That is an insane head kick there.
It was a huge head kick. He doesn't look happy with it. You never are when you lose. His corner are complaining.
Some display there from Mizdari.
His corner are not happy at all with that.
Yeah, Dean didn't seem to be out of it. He was taking a lot of shots there, but he didn't seem to be out of the game. He didn't, you know, it didn't look like, certainly from our position anyway, it didn't look like his eyes had rolled back in his head. Didn't look like he wasn't defending himself. Obviously, he was taking shots, no doubt about that. Hard to say on first watch how, you know, if it was a good stoppage or not there. It happened in such a split second blink of an eye.
After 12 seconds of round 1, our referee has called a stop to this bout. And your winner, Lucania, representing enquiries in France, Fouad Mizdari. Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you please to show your appreciation for his opponent, representing the Denki Ninja Fight Team, Dean Reilly.
Next up, we've got a welterweight fight between AJ Alan Johnson and the German Jason Ayari.
Alan Johnston, fight out of the D unit, Dumbarton. My record is 5 wins, no losses, 1 draw. Fight preparation, probably the best it's ever been. Everything's been going to plan, so just got to put my plan into action and play my game. I'd say I'm stronger than my opponent now because I've had a lot more time to prepare than him. I don't think he's ever been abroad to fight, probably not much experience in a cage, and it's my home ground, so that's why I think I've got the upper hand.
My name is Yasin Ayari. I'm from Germany, Nuremberg, and my record is 7 wins, 1 loss, and I'm from Hammer's team in Nuremberg. My training was good. I had good sparring time with good other gyms and my team, so I had a good training camp. I think my opponent is a good guy in boxing and judo and all the other things, but I will win for sure in first or second round.
Familiar walkout music from Alan Johnston. Sprinting down to the cage there.
Run out music, more like it.
Alan Johnson, Dinky Ninjas, the D unit branch. 3 branches of the Dinky Ninjas, D unit, Lanark and the Grip House.
And Shawlands, of course, 4 if you want to count Shawlands. It's a big MMA team doing big things.
Johnston, one of their biggest upcoming prospects. 6-0-1 record. He's a very, very tough guy, Alan Johnson. I always describe him the exact same way, call him an animal. That's exactly what he is. He's got vicious ground and pound. Really dangerous guy when he gets on top of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting in a hammer team in Germany, please give a warm Scottish welcome to Jason Ayari.
This will be by far his toughest test to date. Ayari 7-1.
Yeah, Ayari's career has taken quite a similar path to AJ's actually. Most of his wins, that's 5 by submission, 2 by TKO. But those TKOs were by retirement rather than by actual, punches or strikes to finish the fight. His one loss to 11-2 Ruben Crawford came via rear naked choke. He's one of Germany's young MMA stars. He'll be very confident of a win here, as will AJ, of course. AJ is all business, isn't he? There's no nonsense with him. It's all straight about getting into the cage, getting on with the job.
Yeah, he's looking better, more and more well-rounded every time he enters the cage, Alan Johnston. He's been getting personal training off of James Doolan for his striking, really helped revolutionise his striking game. He's already got very good top control, good sweeps. He's a strong guy coming down from middleweight a few fights ago to his new home of welterweight.
And looking at his body type, you might even imagine that he could go even further down.
I'm not too sure about that one, but he's certainly very powerful at this weight class as it is. Ayari, of course, very talented guy. Noticed in his fights though, he does leave opportunities. He does have a tendency to fight back and forth fights. Very talented guy, obviously. You don't win 7 fights in MMA without being talented. Good wrestling ability.
We'll hand over to Kim Hamilton, our MC.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our fighters. First of all, in the blue corner, weighing in at 77.4 kilos, with a record of 6 wins, 0 losses, and 1 draw. Representing the Dinky Ninja Fight Team, D-Unit in Dumbarton, Scotland. Please welcome Alan Johnston. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the red corner, weighing in at 77.2 kilos, with a fight record of 7 wins and 1 loss. Fighting out of Hammer Team in Germany, please welcome Jason Ayari. Ladies and gentlemen, about to schedule for 3 5-minute rounds of pro MMA action. I'd like to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Graham Kelly Personal Fitness, for sponsoring this welterweight bout. And once again, a big thank you to Gio Thompson.
Stick with us, we'll be right back after the break with more MMA action from the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow. Next up, we've got a welterweight fight between AJ Alan Johnson and the German Jason Ayari.
This one is going to be fantastic. 2 upcoming prospects, very similar records.
Oh, Jason straight in aggressively.
And he's looking for the submission there, get a hold of his neck, looking for a standing guillotine.
Well,
AJ looking to fight the hand, and he's got that, he's wrenching it. He's wrenching it as hard as he possibly can here, but AJ's a very determined guy.
Incredibly fast start by Ayari, and that's one thing we've said about Johnson before, is that he might be a little bit slow in starting.
Yeah, it does often take a little bit while, but Ayari's so fast out the blocks, I think he'd have been fast for an awful lot of people there.
This is incredibly tight, and it looks so uncomfortable, but how
He's now
strong
getting
is
the
Alan
mounted
Johnson?
guillotine in there. Johnson got incredible resiliency to hold on here. Ayari not giving up on that though.
He'll do very well to break free of
it.
this, David. He'll do very, very well to get out of this position.
And
oh, brilliant stuff from Johnson. Fantastic stuff.
He's just so determined.
And listen to the crowd. A lot of guys would have tapped there, no doubt about it.
Incredible display of resiliency and just heart, just pure grit to survive that. We've seen him do it before up against Ousmane Sidibe, a very similar situation.
I don't think Sidibe ever had him in as much trouble as that, though. That was impressive stuff. by both guys. Ayari came flying out of the traps, which Johnson's never really experienced before. But to be fair to him, he's dealt with it very well, and he's now just getting a little chance to get his breath back. Ayari thinking about going down for the takedown.
AJ putting his knee up there to block any knees. Putting his knee across the body of Ayari.
Come on, nothing's happening.
AJ fighting for that underhook. Ayari maintaining double unders. Just looking to utilise some dirty boxing there to the body. Alan Johnson won't be too phased by this. We've seen him in this position a lot of times before, where he's struggled against guys, but he just overcomes. He just keeps on pushing through.
And what this does do, if there's anything you can say to take a positive from this, is that this is going to give Ayari something to think about, in the fact that I've just had this guy, you know, in serious danger and he didn't tap. You know, what am I going to have to do to finish this fight?
Yeah, mentally that must have affected Ayari a lot.
Johnson bouncing around, doing very well to avoid the single leg takedown.
Yeah, excellent balance there. Good work from Ayari though.
He needs to get his head lower, doesn't he, and kind of push him to the side around about his core rather than up at the chest there. But he's broken free from that single leg threat now, has Johnston.
Ayari doing a great job here of keeping Johnson up against the cage.
Let's say something.
You might have been forgiven for thinking that Ayari would have be at the disadvantage up against the cage, because he's not fought in the cage that often, being from Germany.
Oh, is that right?
More in the ring, but it certainly hasn't worked out that way so far.
Nice elbow sneaking over the top there from Johnston. It did land.
He's caught a couple of them. He's blocked the knee well. He's keeping his head high to avoid those strikes. Ayari looking to reap the leg and take Johnson down. Johnson trains alongside John Quinn. One of his only losses to Pascal Kraus, a German upcoming prospect who's now in the UFC. Johnson will not want to go the same way as his teammate there. Suffer his first defeat to a German. Another upcoming German prospect.
And he finally gets the takedown. I mean, he had to work so hard for it.
Alan very sensibly not going on the flat of his back, but Ayari working to try and just destroy his posture there. And he's done that very well, Ayari.
Yeah, Johnson did the right thing by turning into him.
Yet again though, Johnson's so strong and so powerful that it's not easy to hold him down at all. Ayari now seems to be working for that Darce. He can't get it locked in the bicep though.
Yeah, and that's because Johnson's controlling one of his legs with the half guard. That's what's preventing him from getting that grip. He's very close now.
Got it locked in the bicep
he
now.
does need to free that leg though. He does need to free his leg, I think, to finish this.
Yeah, Johnson looks to have a good bit of room to manoeuvre here. He still could get the tap though. Not long to go here. Johnson trying to bridge.
Johnson's got just seconds to hold on. Just seconds to hold on.
Can he do it? Can he hold on into this next round? Ayari,
brilliant stuff from Johnson. Brilliant defense, because he was in all kinds of trouble. And look at him, straight back to his feet. Give me some water, everything's all right. Wow.
And we've seen this on so many occasions from Alan Johnson. His opponent really does bring it to him. He beats him up a little bit, lands a lot of stuff on him, controls the fight, and then whenever AJ gets in top position, he unleashes hell upon his opponent and really makes him pay for it.
Gotta wonder how this will affect Justin Ayari, because he's had him in a guillotine that would have finished a lot of guys. He's had him in a Darce choke that would have killed a lot of guys, and you know, and he's not come close to tapping.
That's the thing. Ayari's looked fantastic there. Great ground skills, clearly. Very talented wrestler, very talented grappler, and all round just looks a very, very good fighter. But if you can't put Johnson away, you're just going to have to take him the distance here. Alan has a lovely technique of throwing leg kicks, which he's just done right.
Yeah,
before.
nice counter, wasn't it? It was.
He also sets it up beautifully. He throws a 1-2 and then he exits with a leg kick. Ayari very sensibly closing the distance. Johnson needs to push Ayari's head down here, stop him getting good head control, and try and stop Ayari from taking his leg there and putting it between his own legs. He's done that well.
Yeah, he has. He's escaped that attempt. Really good. Although, as it's going right now, of course, this is a winning position for Ayari. If he, the referee, I don't think will allow it to stay this way for much longer. But if he's holding Johnson up against the cage for the remainder of this fight, well, he steals a decision. Yeah,
Ayari's clearly come in with a great game plan. He's obviously watched Johnson fight before, realised he doesn't start the fastest of anyone out there, and tried to put him away.
Good hook on the exit from Johnson.
Look at him,
and he looks
look
angry.
on his face.
He's angry now. He wants to unleash, and he's going to unleash. And he stops that takedown attempt with ease. Big knee and a right hook.
Ayari very, very sensible in closing the distance here. He's got a great game plan. He's coming, and he's so far he's executed it to absolute perfection. Very clever fighter, obviously, Ayari.
Yeah, you don't amass 8 wins in your pro career without being a smart fighter. You know, it doesn't matter who you're fighting, really. And you've got to be decent to rack up that many wins, clearly. And as I was saying before the fight, I think these guys, their careers have taken similar paths. And they're both very, very good. That's so obvious from what's happened in the opening round and a half that we've seen here tonight.
I think it's clear what Alan Johnson needs to do here. He needs to try and get some space. Nice knee.
And a leg kick. I mean, he's frustrated. You can see that. As soon as he's getting free of the clinch, he's looking to throw, you know, and that's a bit of frustration creeping in, I think. Because Ayari is dictating where this fight's taking place. I think
the aggression from Johnson is fantastic. Great to see, obviously. And it could work wonders for him, but I think it has to be a bit more controlled aggression. At the moment, he's giving Ayari those opportunities to rush in on him and close that distance. As if he takes his time a little bit more and just thinks about landing those leg kicks, setting them up a little bit better, like I said he does with his 1-2 combination usually. I think he could have a lot more success.
Just what you just said, David. He threw a big kick to the body, and he was taken immediately.
It's just a bit too telegraphed.
Yeah, immediately taken into a single leg position, and he could end up in his back here again.
He's obviously got very solid takedown defence, Alan Johnson, but Ayari is clearly a very good wrestler. Working for a standing arm triangle there.
I would be absolutely stunned if he gets it, because we've seen the kind of things that Johnson doesn't tap out of. So
very unorthodox to try for the standing arm triangle.
But at the very least, he's controlling the position and dictating once again where this fight's
worst case
place.
Scenario here, it looks like he might take the back. Alan Johnson. Alan really needs to keep his back, close to that cage.
Does well to break. He needs to just compose himself here now.
Here I'd like to see Alan stop walking forward as much and just defend. Nice, that's exactly it. Wow, shots! Oh! And Ayari's just standing there, but he's out! That's a big win for Alan Johnston!
That was absolutely incredible stuff from Alan Johnston. Wow! I think he was out before he even hit the deck. That was bizarre.
That was absolutely unbelievable.
It looked as if he was kind of...
The crowd here is on their feet. What a performance from Alan Johnston.
It looked as if he was toying with them, as if he was saying, keep hitting me. But I think he might have been out, David. Whoa. Whoa. He wants the belt. He wants the on-top belt. And who would deny giving him a chance at it after this? The winner of tonight's welterweight title fight better watch out.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 minutes and 52 seconds of round 2, your winner by KO, Alan Johnston! Fighting out of the TNFT unit. Ladies and gentlemen, big thank you to his opponent, all the way from Hammer Team in Germany, Jason Ayari.
Stick with us. We'll be right back after the break with more MMA action from the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow.
Next up, we've got an all-Scottish clash between David Galbraith and Adam Stevenson at lightweight.
I'm Adam Stevenson. I fight at the Scottish Martial Arts Centre in Tilbury, and my record is 5-4. That's been good. Good hard camp. Lots of hard work put in. So expecting that to show in the fight. I think my striking's a lot better. I think that's how I'm going to win. But it doesn't matter if it goes to the ground, same. I'm going to win.
My name's David Galbraith. I fight a lightweight, which is 70 kilos, and I fight out of gladiatorial combat. The fight prep's been really good. The best part I would say was training at Calgon for 2 weeks down there. Living, sleeping, eating, training in the gym. So it was really challenging. It's been harder than any other fight camp. Definitely the best shape of my life. And I've been fully dedicated and fully committed to this fight camp. I made a lot of sacrifices and put everything on hold to make sure I'm in the best shape possible for this fight. I think we have similar attributes. Both of us are very determined and have good engines, but I feel I have the better skill set all round, so I'm confident in every department, and anywhere the fight goes, I feel I'm technically better, so you know I've got loads of confidence going into this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our fighters. In the blue corner, weighing in at 70.3 kilos, with a record of 5 wins and 3 losses, fighting out of the Scottish Martial Arts Centre. Please welcome Adam Handsome Stevenson. His opponent in the red corner weighs in at 69.8 kilos, with a record of 6 wins and 5 losses, fighting out of gladiatorial combat in Scotland. Please welcome David Gladiator Galbraith.
Yeah, you mentioned the smile there on Adam Stevenson's face. I've got it on quite good authority that in the fight with Alan McCauley going into the 3rd round, at one point Stevenson, a big smile spread across his face, and he definitely said something to McCauley, and supposedly he was saying, Alan, I love this.
And I think he really does love it. And although he's known as a boxer, as we were saying, the frightening thing is he's won his last 4 fights by armbar. That's all down to a switching camp to the Scottish Martial Arts Centre, where he's just refocused his training, worked out what he wasn't good at, and got good at it.
This one is going to be an absolute belter, to use a nice Scottish word for this all-Scottish clash.
It's got Fight of the Night written all over it.
Both guys absolutely itching to get this underway.
No glove touching there. Straight into it. No nonsense.
Galbraith staying very light on his feet. Bouncing in and out. He's got to be careful. Stevenson has very good counter-striking ability. And great boxing. Good head movement. Never been knocked down, Stevenson.
That's a frightening statistic right there.
Well, especially when you consider some of the guys he's been in with. Alan McCauley, Gary Ward. If he has a weakness, it's probably up to the takedown. I think David Galbraith, he's got good top control, David. Very heavy whenever he's on top of you. And Stevenson, that is an area he could exploit of Stevenson. Obviously, you've then got to be careful if you're on guard with him, because his Adam bar is absolutely vicious.
Yeah, sometimes they say guys learn the most about themselves in their defeat, and in Adam Stevenson's last defeat it was against Kieran Malone, when he was utterly dominated for 3 rounds, and obviously he learned a hell of a lot about himself, because he went away, he refocused himself, and he rebuilt himself.
Nice heavy leg kick from David Galbraith.
And he is now a much better fighter than he was in August last year. This is a great matchup. This is a really good matchmaking. I mean, these two guys, anybody can win this fight, and they can win it any way. It's just... I'm actually nervous just watching this.
You see some guys who start off at a furious pace. Adam Stevenson's more the type to feel his way in, get his timing right, and you'll slowly start to see him unload more and more.
Superman punch attempt by Galbraith doesn't quite land. Follows up with a good leg kick. Goes for the front kick there.
Good strategy so far from Galbraith. Stay light on your feet, but you've got to be careful in that situation.
Yeah,
great counter striker.
And Stevenson was looking to take him down, then he does avoid it. Galbraith, as you say, he was in and straight back out, but Stevenson was very quick to latch onto that leg. That one was checked by Stevenson.
Stevenson almost timed the leg kick there for the shot. And Stevenson really throwing a lot into that leg kick there.
Now we'll see who's a better grappler now. Let's see where this goes. David's got over-under.
And he's been over at all sorts of great camps. Extreme Couture, one of the best wrestling camps in the world. The gyms over there with Randy Couture, guys of that sort of calibre. Gray Maynard been over there for a time. Plenty of really high-level guys to work with. Martin Kampmann, who just recently won on the UFC against Jake Ellenberger. Working with those high-level guys, and down at Cowboy, like you mentioned, he does have very good wrestling. Stevenson defending this with an overhook there. It's getting tighter, but it's not too tight at the moment, by the looks of things.
The referee telling David to improve his position. So David starts throwing strikes as long as he's keeping busy. The referee's not going to break them up here. Stevenson looks very comfortable though. He doesn't look put out at all, does he?
Galbraith's working for double underhooks now. Yeah, good takedown defence here from Stevenson. Using the cage to prevent the takedown.
And the ref breaks him up. Let's see what happens from here. And scoring points with those kicks, Galbraith. Good combination from Stevenson, yeah, indeed. Galbraith goes to the big overhand right. It's blocked by Stevenson.
And he get caught there by a nice left hook from Stevenson.
Galbraith shoots for the takedown.
Yeah, fakes the shot, fakes the punch there, takes the overhand and goes straight for the takedown. But again, good defence from Stevenson. Backpedals well. He's keeping a nice wide base. And working for his underhooks. Got his underhooks at the moment.
He's going for the clinches, Galbraith.
Nice
Stevenson,
reversal.
yeah, very good reversal by Stevenson. He was very patient, wasn't he, waiting for his moment.
Yeah,
just when he senses his opponent's off balance, that's when you make the move.
Use that underhook well. He's now trying to look for like a half tie clinch to unload with the other hand. David sort of acknowledging that shot.
I understand David is about a stone heavier than he was at the weigh-in yesterday, so he's rehydrated. An accidental low blow by Stevenson there. It happens a lot in MMA, and it was a pure accident.
Galbraith looking for the overhand right a lot. He obviously thinks he spied something on Stevenson. Mark Goddard is often here, of course, but he's unavailable this evening.
And we're back underway with just 10 seconds left to go in the round. And how often we see guys when that clacker goes to the last 10 seconds, they're just going to lose all abandon and things just get a little bit crazy. Yeah, good end to the round. Stevenson giving him an evil glare as he moves away. Yeah. So how would you sum up that round then? Maybe possibly just edged it to Galbraith?
I think Galbraith did a very good job of moving in and out there, landing some leg kicks. Nothing tremendous damage landed from either guy. But I think you've got to say that's a 10-9 to the Gladiator Galbraith at the moment.
Stick with us. We'll be right back after the break with more MMA action from the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow.
Next up, we've got an all-Scottish clash between David Galbraith and Adam Stevenson at lightweight.
Round two.
Once again, he's moving very well as Galbraith.
I think his strategy of leg kicking was really working for him. He has to watch that Stevenson doesn't time that leg kick and land a shot of his own.
Body kick there from Galbraith, that one landed.
But Stevenson definitely does not like those leg kicks.
Well, it's smart, if you've got a guy who's a good boxer, you do want to damage that lead leg, and it's clearly, and you can look at the red mark on Stevenson's left leg there. It's having an effect. Yeah. It's maybe just stopping him from pushing off with big jabs. And a boxer, relies a hell of a lot on that jab just to keep the fight in the range that they wanted him.
He's got to be careful though at that instance there, Galbraith, because Stevenson does have great
he's
boxing.
caught with a good jab there, good Galbraith. Decent combination, but Stevenson saw them both coming. And he shoots in, good takedown from.
And he's looking to hook that leg there, reap that leg and get the takedown, but that's fantastic.
Good stuff from
Even
Galbraith.
getting the takedown there, that's fantastic takedown defence from Adam Stevenson. and know exactly what he's going to be working for here. Wow, elbows, vicious elbows, right to the temple.
Galbraith trying to work some ground and pound, and he caught him there with the left.
He's got to be very careful not to overcommit an arm here. Adam Stevenson looking for an elevator swoop there.
Oh, big knee by Stevenson. Galbraith shakes it off though.
This one is heating up. Stevenson looking for that left hand counter whenever Galbraith comes in with the overhand right, and he's only missed by a couple of inches.
And another good takedown by Galbraith, and he's trying to work into side control this time. Stevenson's strong as anything.
Yeah, he's trying to get his legs in there.
Watch that arm
turn over and create some space between himself and Galbraith. Get back to half guard or full guard. Got to try and get on his side here. He's lying in the flat of his back, Stevenson.
He's defending very well, to be fair. What Galbraith's trying to do, he's trying to get into side control, and Stevenson so far has managed to prevent that from happening. And he's almost teased him with an arm there. He's going to say to him, okay, take my arm.
Oh, that one looked like that landed in the face.
Did it?
The knee to the head there, of course, an illegal blow. Oh, and this is quickly degenerated. Andy Sledge looked to get control of this bout again.
I think that was a retaliation from Stevenson there.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he was pissed off that he got kneed.
I'm not too sure what the situation is in this one. Sledge talking to Galbraith, saying obviously you can't knee to the head. It definitely did connect in Stevenson, and then when the ref split it up, Stevenson landed a shot on Galbraith. Two wrongs, of course, do not make a right.
If there was any chance there of Galbraith having a point deducted, Stevenson just threw that away by landing the cheap shot.
Yeah. And I think Sledge will be quite sensible here and just start both guys.
Great refereeing. Stand them up, go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's explaining to both of them, you know, this is why there's no point deductions, this is why.
There we are, back underway.
And it could now get pretty nasty.
Yeah, I think it will. This one didn't need anything to ignite it, but it's got it anyway.
If this develops into a street brawl, where do you think the advantage lies?
Whoever catches the lucky shot, in all honesty, I think both guys are incredibly determined and tough, aggressive guys, both hard as nails. It's hard to see how either would have an advantage in a brawl. I think it would just come down to whoever catches the other one. Stevenson, of course, never been knocked down, so you could say he's got the advantage there. I would say he's got more technical boxing.
Yeah, he's probably the better boxer, which might just give him the edge there.
I think Galbraith's best shot is at not making this a brawl and doing exactly what he's done so far. I think his game plan has been terrific. And he's thrown his leg kicks, he's shot for his takedowns. He's not tried to stand in front of Stevenson and just wing shots. Good left hand there from David. Stevenson's coming forward a lot more now. Starting to put pressure on. You can see Stevenson does not like those leg kicks.
Yeah, he's certainly thinking about it, isn't he?
Whenever a shot lands on Stevenson, he doesn't seem too bothered if it's to the face, whereas when it lands to the leg, it seems to be a slightly different reaction. Nice shots from Stevenson though. Good punches, Davey circling away. Now Stevenson in for the takedown.
Yeah, Galbraith did well to try and work the guillotine and give Adam something to think about straight away.
Galbraith firing off shots and then going away to the side, and he's done a good job of avoiding it so far, but Stevenson he's a great counter striker, and you see him every time he's getting off to the side there looking for that big left hook. Galbraith got to keep the hands high. He's dropped him a little bit there.
Goes for the overhand right again. I'd say Stevenson's probably just had the edge in the strike. No, there's not much to it. And Galbraith with the takedowns is probably once again.
Oh, good shot, good right hand.
He did hurt him. He's got 10 seconds to get through the end of this round.
Lovely 1-2. Right hand definitely connected on the chin.
Goes for a takedown. If he takes this, he probably steals the round.
Nice shots from Stevenson. Good work from him.
Wow.
Here we go. Here we go. We're into the final round here. Stevenson giving a very clear message to David Galbraith. You're finished. I'm sure Galbraith will respond in kind though.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move in to the third and final round. I want to hear everybody on top 5 making as much noise as possible for both fighters.
Stevenson refuses to touch gloves. The referee asked him to do it. Stevenson refused. Oh, they have now. There we go. Good work, Sledge.
That's how you show your authority as a referee, isn't it? Yeah. Just make sure they touch gloves.
Yeah, he senses this has got the potential to really kick off, and that's, again, good refereeing, good stuff. No, didn't expect that. Stevenson grabs the leg and takes him down. Galbraith has to think about this now. Goes for the up kick, which is perfectly legal in this situation.
Throwing some vicious up kicks there. Stevenson not too bothered about that, of course, with that excellent chin he's got. He'll quite happily walk through a couple of them. Looking at hammer fist and walk around the side into side control. He's done it well. He's used that cage well to sort of force David into a corner.
And he's mounted him. He's got the back. This is dangerous.
Nice stuff from Stevenson.
He's got one hook in. He's trying to work the second in, and if that happens, Galbraith will be in trouble. Switches to the mount.
And he's starting to unleash here with the looks of things. Stevenson, he's really amped his things up now. He's got David flattened out and he's landing a few shots. And now he's looking like he's trying to posture up and really do the damage. Oh, nice elbows! Nice elbows!
Finish.
He's also got the potential to snatch that arm at any second. David will be very wary of that. Stevenson doing the damage here. Momentum has totally swung in his favour now. David just can't get out of this. Mount back-to-back control to Mount. Galbraith has a great chin as well, of course. We've spoke so much about Stevenson's chin, but Galbraith has been through some wars with Bobby McVitie.
He's not going to stop it punching from his back here though, so what he's going to try and do is work for the choke.
Stevenson looking for the choke there. I think he's got the arm on the chin rather than the neck at the moment.
Yep, Galbraith is defending it well.
Galbraith looking to fight the hands.
And in fact, Galbraith trying to strike from there, so he's clearly, he's got his wits about him still. Great stuff from Galbraith.
Lovely stuff.
And that's why we love this sport. You would look at that and think there's no way he's going to get out of this, and look at it now.
Used the cage very well there.
Although he is in armbar territory, of course, which is not where he wants to be.
And he's got that arm on the mat, which is really not what you want to do against someone who's an armbar specialist, but he's got it free. Good work from him.
He's going to try and land some ground and pound. Then he catches him there with the right.
You see Stevenson's quite happy to strike off his back. So confident in his own chin.
I think Galbraith's quite tired, and whether he's having much of an effect with these shots, I'm not quite so sure.
This one has descended into a war as we expected it would.
Oh, big elbow from Galbraith, caught him in the chin. Body, head, it's good stuff from both guys. They're both showing some amazing skill. Referee telling him to work.
Stevenson on the flat of his back here. It'll be interesting to see if he can work for that armbar. He's got the overhook there on the right hand side of Galbraith. Got Galbraith's hand on the mat, both hands on the mat now.
And the ref stands them up. We just didn't feel Galbraith was working quite hard enough there. And I think we can probably say that the last minute or so of this fight is going to be absolutely bonkers.
And it could well prove decisive. Very tough round to score so far. Stevenson with back control for large periods of it.
Oh, they both caught each other with a jab there. Lovely.
A nice jab there from Stevenson. Really sending the head of Galbraith back.
Oh, big knee, but it didn't quite land. Galbraith getting himself into a bit of trouble trying to go for the takedown there, but He could finish it, and that could be very decisive.
And David
very
Galbraith
decisive.
making this so difficult for the judges. Adam Stevenson had back control and full mount and landing shot after shot, huge blows. But now Galbraith has been on top for a decent period of time there. He's landed another takedown. Back control is a very decisive position though, isn't it, Steph?
Well, I mean, that was the closest the fight's come to being finished, wasn't it? The referee was
Absolutely.
very, very close, so that's going to score big for Stevenson.
Some of the shots Stevenson was landing were absolutely huge. You've got to say, if David Galbraith is going to get a draw or win this round, he probably has to posture up and try and do everything, throw just the kitchen sink at this one, with only 10 seconds remaining in the round. What a fight here at On Top. Brilliant display from both guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, our judges have reached a unanimous decision in favor of in the red corner, David Galbraith.
It's been a great night of fights here at the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow for On Top 5. We've seen a title fight, we've seen some of the best mixed martial artists in Britain and in Europe. David, what was your fight of the night?
Oh, fight of the night. Galbraith Stevenson was absolutely fantastic. Alan Johnson versus Jason Ayari was amazing.
Performance of the night for sure by AJ.
Absolutely. We had a whole host of really impressive Scottish performances. Stephen Ray went in there, did the business. Nico Masaki in the main event, not a Scot, but fantastic performance from him. Daniel Henry, just a fantastic night of action here at On Top 5.
Special mention for Joanne Calderwood, who took her record to 3-0 with another absolutely dominant performance, this time over Ainara Mota.
Yeah, it's been a great night of action here at On Top 5, the Kelvin Hall in Glasgow, Scotland.
I'm Steph Black.
And I'm David Bateman.
Thanks for
joining us.